Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. In this video, I'm going to be talking about land investing for beginners and flipping land with little or no money. All right, so I'm gonna talk about when I first got started with no money and then how I did my first mailer just literally by using a credit card. And then how I turned it into 100 land notes paying me every single month automatically right into my bank account. All right, so the reason why I love talking about this so much is because when I started out, I had little money and no time basically. I was working 12 hours a day for the Army. I was always going to the field, always away, always training. And I had basically that gave me no time. Plus I had a new wife at home, plus a brand newborn baby. And then the worst part about it was I didn't even have money to buy the land or mail the land. So I ended up getting an American Express and I was able to borrow the money to start mailing my first land mailer. How did I do that? Well, I obviously picked the county that I was in. I picked the county that I was currently in. I was stationed out in El Paso County, Colorado. And all this was inspired by listening to a podcast, by watching a video very similar to this. And I hope that it inspires you today to start taking action and to go out and do a land deal. We all are beginners at one time or another. We all have, started at something and failed at something and not being good at something, and we had to learn how to do it. And a lot of us started with little money, little time, or in my situation, I had no money and no time, and I was also a beginner. So I did that with the American Express credit card, and that's how I paid for my first mailer. All right, so I talked about picking the area, picking the playground. That's your county that you want to invest in. And then I talked about the mailer. But how did I find the list to mail, the list of people to mail? I wanted to go after a list of people that were hungry and motivated to sell their land to me. I'm going to give you two options on this video, two options of that list. One, you can go towards the county tax delinquent list or the tax lien list. These are people that are behind on their taxes for their property. And I want you to mail that entire list. And what would you mail them? I want you to mail them a letter or a postcard, something that simply says, hey, my name is Brent, or my name is John, or whatever your name is. I would be interested in purchasing your land at 123 Main Street. If you'd like an all cash offer, no hassle, fair price, give me a call or text me. Thank you, God bless, and then have your phone number. That's it. That's a very simple letter. Now I talked about plan B for that, or option B, I should say, for that other list. I'm going to give you a very simple way to get a list of people that, and no one's talking about this list, by the way. This is like the secret list, and we just started being able to get this list too. And I've been testing it out, and it's been working tremendously well in my company. But this list, 25% of the people on it need to sell in the next 24 months. It's called the inheritedlandlist.com. Go to inheritedlandlist.com and you're going to get a list of people that have inherited land in the last several months. And these people on this list are going to be hungry and motivated to sell it usually at a fair price or a very steep discount. So again, that's inheritedlandlist.com, and that's going to take you to a site called US Lead List, and this is the company that pulls this list for you and has access to this data. You're going to pick your state, and then you're going to get a quote for the list that they can provide for you. All right, next is that mail piece. I already talked about it. I already explained what it says. Hey, my name is Brent, and I'd like to buy your land at 123 Main Street. If you're interested in an all-cash fair offer, please call me or text me. God bless. And then you got to be prepared to answer the phone and actually talk to these sellers. See how you can serve them. See what issues they're trying to overcome. See why they even want to sell the land. How do they get the land, or why are they not paying the back taxes? Tell you a little bit about the land, and then figure out a fair price, a price that they're willing to take for the land. And then next step is you've got to go out and see what the land is actually worth. How do you do that? You can contact a realtor that knows about land, or you can go on Zillow.com and see what the apple to apple comparison is. For instance, like if you're looking at a 1 acre parcel and the 80906 zip code, you can look up on Zillow, okay, what are 1 acre parcels selling for in the last 6 months in the 80906 zip code, and that's how you figure out what this land is worth. And then you want to make sure you go back to that seller of the land that you're talking to and make sure you're getting it at a maximum discount, as little as possible. And then the next step, you need to find a buyer for that land that's willing to pay just a little bit more than what you're buying it for. And this is how you create income as a brand new land investor for a beginner. So you might be wondering, why would anybody want to sell their land at a discount? Well, let me tell you this. There are pawn shops in every city in America that people take Rolexes, they take guns, they take their wives' jewelry into, and they sell it for less than 10 cents on the dollar a lot of times. It's the same thing with land. They don't live on it, they don't need it, they inherited it, or they're behind on taxes. There's motivation to sell it usually. So this is why people do what they do, because you provide the speed and you provide that convenience. So I want to give you an example of my first couple deals. That first land deal that I mailed, that tax delinquent list, that postcard that I talked about that says, hey, my name is Brent. I'd like to buy your land at 123 Main Street. If you're interested, call me or text me, God bless. That postcard was called back. Basically, they got the postcard. The first caller was a retired CPA. He told me that he would sell me the land at a certain price, which was $285. I ended up selling that piece of land overnight pretty much to a realtor that was right down the street from that land for $5,000. The second land deal is the one that transformed and changed my life forever. Or in other words, it was basically a paradigm shift that Stephen Covey talks about in this book. And the reason why it was a paradigm shift was because I got $500 down for this parcel of land. And oh, by the way, I paid $500 for it. So I got my security deposit back. I got my security back out of the deal, I should say. So I got my money back out. I didn't have any money tied up into the deal. And this is totally different from like the rentals I purchased in the past. So I got my money back out of the deal, and 30 days later, I got my first paycheck of $400 a month. And that's what gave me my start on passive income. That's what allowed me to have income coming in each month that was covering my truck payment. And then I just did one deal at a time. So I did the first 2 deals in about a 2 to 3 week period of time. And then I started doing 1 or 2 a month, and then it turned into 4 a month. And every time I add another land sale, I'm adding another $200, $300, or $400 a month to my incoming payments. So now we're currently sitting at about 100 of these notes each month. You might be wondering, what is a note? A note is something where someone promises to go to work every single day and pay us a monthly payment at a certain interest rate for a certain amount of time until their land is paid off. That is all a note is. It's also known as seller financing. And this is what's allowed me to have financial freedom and time freedom, because these payments come in sometimes multiple times a day into my bank account. Guys, I hope you're getting tons of value out of this. Please smash that subscribe button. It goes a long way with the YouTube algorithms. And I come out with these videos 5 days a week. So thanks so much for doing that. Let's keep going. All right, so you might be thinking, holy cow, that's a lot of information. Like, where do I even begin? You talked about picking your playground, you talked about picking a list and then mailing and then talking to the seller, and where do I find the purchase agreements and all that? You know, I want you to be able to do a land deal by listening to this video and checking out my channel and subscribing to my channel and getting notifications when more videos come out. But if you want me to hold your hand and show you through this entire process, we've come out with a great course that teaches you how to do it, not only how to do it, shows you exactly what to do, the steps to do it, and then we're there to answer the questions when you come against objections or roadblocks. If you want to look into that, head on over to wholesalinginc.com/land and schedule a call today. Book a call. We'll see what you have to say, and if we like what you have to say, we might even invite you into the Rhino tribe to be a Rhino.